Alright, I think it's time we start tearing this thing apart. I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and take the fender off and this core support off and get that out of the way. I think it'll make it a good bit easier to pull the motor and tranny all at once. And yeah, we'll save a few parts here and there. I need these pieces. I got the other fender over there with that on it, so I'll steal those and yeah, just start ripping stuff apart so we can get to the motor and tranny, and hopefully we'll have that sucker out of here. Alright, that's one fender down, one's already gone, and I got the radiator out, and to my surprise it had some fluid left in it. But that's out of the way. Now I can start working on this core support here and this inner fender, kind of get that out of the way. Alright, the core support should be all unbolted and ready to come out. Alright, now we'll get that side inner fender out of the way, and we should have plenty of room to pull that thing. Alright, we got that inner fender out of the way now. It wasn't strictly necessary to pull the engine, but I think it'll make it a lot easier. So the front clip is gone. Now we can start pulling the engine. I think I'm going to jack it up and crawl underneath, pull the transmission out, you know, unbolt all that, get that ready, and then come up top and start pulling stuff off. Yank that carburetor out of the way so we can put a plate on there and pick it up with that. All them heater hoses and whatever wires and linkages are attached. And then we'll pull the motor mounts and should come right out of there, I think. I hope, anyway. Well, as you can see, I got it jacked up in the air a little ways, and I went ahead and pulled out the drive shaft there. I could have probably just unbolted that centerpiece and slid it back, but I figured since I was under there I'd take the whole shaft out, since we're not going to be using it in this car anyway, so parts. And I went ahead and I drained the water out of the engine. I got about a half a pan of straight water and then drained out the rest of it, which was rusty oil. So that leads me to believe that this engine is locked up tighter than Fort Knox, which kinda sucks because I'm pretty sure to separate the engine and the transmission I'm going to have to actually spin that over so I can get to all the torque converter bolts, or flex plate bolts, to actually separate the two, because it's not like a regular torque converter transmission. You can't just slide the torque converter out of it. You've actually got to unbolt it and then take apart the fluid coupling and pull it out that way. So I'm probably going to have to tear this engine down to see if I can get the crankshaft to spin or get the crankshaft out or something to allow me to actually pull the transmission on this thing. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. For now, let's just get the thing out. So I'll crawl underneath and finish taking the stuff off the bottom and then stuff off the top and yank it out of here. Alright, I think we're about ready to yank this thing out of here. I got everything unbolted, I think, and should be free. Got myself a new engine lift plate. Got that bolted on. How's that for a clickbait title? I bought the cheapest engine lift plate on Amazon. Watch what happens next. Yeah, it looks kind of like they cheaped out on the welds, but whatever. If it'll pick this up, it'll pick anything up that I'm going to do with it. So I'll go ahead and wheel my cherry picker over, get that set up, and see if we can yank this thing out. Alright, I got my cherry picker hooked up there. I got it on the back hole. We'll see how that does. Let's jack it up a little ways. Engine seems free. Already found a bolt that I missed, so we'll keep going with it and see if it'll come out. I think my cherry picker might might be a little low on fluid. Well, I got it about halfway out, and this is as high as my jack wants to go. Seems to be the way it always goes. I haven't used this thing in years, so I think I'm going to have to check the oil, and it's probably leaked down. Maybe it's just an air bubble or whatever, but I'm going to have to unhook it, drag it out, and get this thing so it goes the whole way up, and then we can pull this thing. But it's almost there. Everything's free. I think I should be able to let it down right where it sits, and it shouldn't destroy anything, I don't think. And I can fix my jack and get back to it. Alright, crisis averted. I went ahead and added some fluid and bled out the jack, and we're back in business. Let's get this thing out of here. Alright, I think we'll let it sit like that for a minute and drain some of the training fluid out the back, and then once it's done making a mess, we'll finish pulling it out. Alright, most of the training fluid's drained out of it. Let's get her all the way out. Well, we got her out finally. Worked pretty well. Didn't break anything. I didn't even make too big of a mess. Kind of surprised. I'll probably let this hang here overnight and just let whatever's going to drip out. And then I suppose we're going to have to tear it down at some point so I can get that thing to turn. And I don't think it's going to be pretty inside. I'm going to have to change the title of my video to "I bought the cheapest engine lift plate on Amazon and it worked." Gone right, not clickbait. But yeah, we'll probably start tearing this thing down tomorrow and see if I can get that transmission off of there. Fluid looks a little bit dark, but I don't think it's burned. Doesn't smell burned. We should be fine. So hopefully that transmission will be good if I can get it out of there.